Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on the Give and Go podcast on this Sunday gloomy day. Looks like it might be a rough week for softball with the weather. Hopefully, it could hold off. We have the Ocean County tournament final on Tuesday, so hopefully it holds off and we're not watching that game in the pouring rain. But today, continuing with some softball interviews, I have the junior shortstop, Riley Schmidt from Barnegat. Riley, thank you for taking time out today. Join me.
Thank you for having me.
Now let's just talk. Barnegat's having a very, very good season. I think 14-4 is that. I think that's the record.
Yeah, 14
Um,
and 4.
Two of those losses, unfortunately, coming to Brick Memorial, but you girls were lucky. You still won the division, C South, and Brick Memorial. We'll talk a little bit about Brick Memorial, but I know they have good pitching. But overall, how do you think the team's doing so far this season?
I think the team is doing honestly like amazing. Like everyone on the team, like if someone's not hitting, another person is. Everyone's really doing like really well this season. Like our pitching's phenomenal, our fielding's amazing. Like really good season for everyone.
Now, you are second in the division in doubles. You're top 10 in batting average. How do you think you're doing this season?
I'm doing good. Like I think, there's always room to improve, but I think this year I'm doing very good with being because I'm trying to focus being patient at the plate, and I think I'm doing very good at that.
That was going to be my, next question. You're a junior, one of the leaders. Only a couple seniors on the team, one that's a starter.
Mhm.
But, so you're taking more of a leadership role, being a junior with a few seniors. What was something you really wanted to improve on going into this season?
Every year I usually focus on like doing something like better than the year before. And last year I was not very like patient at the plate. So this year it was really focusing on just being patient, like not to swing it, like not like only wanting hits, like allowing hit by pitches, walks, like just really strategic hitting.
Okay. Now, shortstop, funny story. Last year, I was at your very first home run. I was at that Manchester
Oh
game,
my gosh.
which was one of my first softball games because last year was the first year I covered softball. So, and I think your mom was out there and it was like the first home run hit to her. So pretty. How good of a feeling is that? When you hit your first home run in high school.
It was so surreal. Like I thought it was really gonna be like a double, like it was gonna hit the fence. And but like I was just sprinting, I hit it, and then when I realized it went over, I was so excited because like I've never done it before. I'm always focused on just hitting line drives, getting on base, and like it was just so surreal.
Now, you brought up pitching. How big is it for teams that have like a go-to ace? Like this year, Gianna, the pitching. Last year, your pitcher. What was her name last year?
Uh, Jameson Hogan.
Yeah, she was a good pitcher too last year. How lucky is it that, because the teams don't have any, pitching as you
Mhm.
could see when you play games. How big is it? And you being a fielder, knowing you got a good pitcher that's going to throw strikes and because the big thing is not walking people, limited
Mhm.
walks. So how big is it, you being in the field, knowing that the ball is going to be put in play or strikeouts?
Freshman year, I remember like our pitcher Jameson had gotten injured, so we had to deal with someone who hadn't pitched in years. So like now from the last 2 years having Jameson back and now Gianna, it's really nice to know that like ooh, sorry, I don't know how to phrase this. Like it's just good to know that like she like can just have us like put it into play and we can cover her back. But she can also get strikeouts and stuff. Because I remember our pitcher really struggled to get it over the plate freshman year. But now that like we had Jameson and G, they're getting it over the plate, they're putting it in play, and we can just make the plays and help her out.
Yeah, that's what I notice between the good teams and just having a pitcher being able to put it over the plate, let the team do the fielding, and go from there. Now let's rewind. How old were you when you first started playing t-ball, or I'm guessing t-ball first?
Yeah, I was 6 years old when I started playing t-ball.
And then how old when you transitioned to softball?
I think I was about 7 or 8 years
So
old.
it was pretty quick after T-ball.
Yeah.
No baseball, just straight to
No,
softball.
straight to softball.
See, when I grew up, there was no the girls played baseball with us because
Hmm.
there was no softball. So, did you play any other sports when you were younger?
I actually played a lot of sports. So right now I'm a three-sport athlete. I play field hockey and track, and I do softball, obviously. But as a kid, my parents really just put me in whatever, so like I could find my sport and what I really liked. So I did like karate, basketball, gymnastics, soccer, and then I did lacrosse at one point. So
What is it about softball that was where you ended up, being your passion?
it's the challenge. I mean, it's not that every other sport I've played was a challenge, just softball's like a very like it was a lot harder than most of sports, and I really like games that give me a challenge.
Yeah, it's not easy hitting the ball. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I played Little League obviously growing up, and I tried out for my high school team. I did not make it, and then I switched over to tennis.
Oh.
What have your parents and your family have meant into your development?
They have always pushed me to do my best, and they've always supported me no matter what and through everything.
Who do you remember who your first softball coach was?
No, but I just remember like the coaches. I don't remember the first, but like the first that comes to my mind was like my 12U coach. No,
And
not 12U, 10U coach.
who was that?
His name's Rob, I think Sanzaneri. I think that's his last name. It was a really hard last name.
Who was your current travel team?
I'm on New Jersey Intensity right now.
Tennessee. And how have they helped you, along the way?
They've always helped me like work, like it's always about work ethic, like work as hard as you can to get where you want to be.
Let's transition, high school, freshman year. What goals did you set for yourself going into freshman year?
So freshman year, I really focused on like just, getting a starting spot and like if I did to like work myself up in the lineup. And then I remember coming in eighth grade, like I found out that like getting 100 hits was like really big. And so that like was like a long-term goal for me.
I mean, freshman year, back, 420. I got your stats up in front of me. 427. That's a pretty good, Any nerves going into a freshman year or any upperclassmen that you were able to go to? Like if you have questions or nerves?
There was a lot, but really if I like had any like nerves or questions, I would go to like my fellow like freshmen at the time because there was five of us including me.
Yeah.
So we would all be in the same boat, so we'd all be able to like talk it out and figure it out together.
How big does that make you even more comfortable? Because, a very strong junior class this year and you came in together. How much does that, ease everybody knowing there's a group of you going in there?
I've known like I've known most of these girls since like elementary school. So like we've been playing together probably since middle school. So like knowing how each other plays and knows like our strengths and our weaknesses, we really can work together and even it out.
What your last year, sophomore year, what can you give me one thing that stood out that really made your season?
Ooh, I don't my like defense, I know I was really trying to work better at and get better with, so that really stood out to me. But also having like our pitcher back and like the new freshmen that were coming in, like I was really excited for that season.
Do you play shortstop for your travel team too? Because I know other sports you don't play the same position you might play in high school.
I'm actually an outfielder.
Outfielder.
So coming in freshman year, I actually like was really hoping to play outfield. And when he told me I was playing shortstop, I realized I'm gonna have to like try and put this work in
Yeah.
to like work to play the shortstop, which I have been. That's been my goal every year to get better at shortstop.
And that shows the confidence he has in you as a fielder too, because shortstop is probably one, infield position that gets the ball hit the most. And you got to be able to communicate for the pop-ups that are in the
Mhm.
Bermuda Triangle out there and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So that says a lot that, you coming in. All right, we talked about junior year. How do you think so postseason, short conference tournament it
Hmm.
came off my screen. I think did I print it? I think you're the 9 seed right now.
Okay, that's not bad.
If it goes the way it's supposed to go, I don't know any changes because it's based off PowerPoints this year,
Hmm.
not off record, 9 seed. And if it all goes to plan, you will be playing Brick Memorial in the second game.
Oh my gosh, seriously?
Yes. So what is something you think, the team has to do different? Because I mean, scratch the first game, there was a couple errors
Hmm.
and you could clear it was nasty outside. It was cold, windy, and you could clearly
Hmm.
see your pitcher was discomfortable with an injury. And then they got you girls again. It was a little closer.
Hmm.
What do you think when your team's getting off the bus? What do you think are going to be the words to try to get their number this time?
I don't know, because I know coming into that game on Friday, we were all like just ready. We were ready for it, but like previously we had played like three other games that week.
Yeah, you
So
had a
I
busy
know
week last week.
so I know Gianna was like tired, but their pitcher, the Brick Memorial pitcher is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like she's a very good pitcher. And she's probably one of the faster pitchers we see. And so I really think now that we've played them twice, I really think if we just like have confidence and know that we can hit off this pitcher, I think it's really going to come down to like situational like hitting and everything.
Mhm. And there's both games. I think there's a
Hmm.
couple errors, and which 2 games I've been to this week, errors decided the game. So that's to me that's something that could be easy to clean up, and that changed that outcome right there. Senior year, next year. What is something you really that you hope to pass down to the underclassmen that are coming up?
That softball is just a game of failure. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You may not have the game that you want, but you should just be okay with failure and just know that like even though you're gonna fail, it's still supposed to be fun. So
What goals do you have set, whether team goals or personal goals? If your stats are right, you're at 82 hits, so you're going to get 100 in your career. But what else do you hope to achieve?
I hope so. My coach he sets team goals every single year. So our first goal is win a game. That's always the first goal that he has. And then it's the OCT, it's the Ocean County tournament. This year we actually did better than we have in previous years because we only won one game in the past 2 years. And we won,
Uh,
well, no, last 2 years we didn't win a game.
yeah.
This year we won a game. So we made it to the next round, which is pretty good. But the goal is always to win it.
Mhm.
Then it's win our division, which we did for the first time in history this year. So that's amazing. And then it's short conference, and then he like wants to go far in short conference and go far in states.
How does it feel being a part, their first division, you being a part of that and having a big part of that?
It's amazing, like when he told us that like no other team has done it, I knew that like that was gonna be like the whole team's goal, knowing that like we have a real shot at making history. And like now that we did make history, it's honestly amazing.
And how does it go for conference? Because you bring back almost everybody next year. So, setting all these accomplishments, you think the goal should be set a little bit higher, next year with everybody
Mhm.
returning?
Yeah, I think there should be like other goals. I mean, I know we lose our second baseman next
Yeah.
year, but I know like whoever moves up in that position, I know that as a team we will help them like because whether it's going to be a freshman incoming or like it's going to be a person that's either on the bench or on JV right now going there, I just know that we're just going to support them and as a team we're going to work together and we're going to really try and push for another year with it.
Before we get into the next um, rapid fire questions, you're a big baseball fan,
Yes.
and who's your favorite team?
LA Dodgers.
Oh my! Why the Dodgers? I got
When I was younger, I went to California with my mom, and usually like I also really like going to like MLB stadiums. Like on my bucket list, I want to go to every single one. And so we were out in Los Angeles and we went to a Dodger game. I watched the team play and I just honestly fell in love with it and everything there.
what is your favorite stadium that you've been to so far?
Ooh, I don't want to be biased and say LA, but I'd probably have to say Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, it's beautiful.
Have you been to Pittsburgh yet?
Yes, I
I
have.
I, I'm a Yankee fan, but I love Pittsburgh Stadium, the
Their
PNC.
stadium's amazing.
Yeah, especially night game over with the bridge in the background.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot about the bridge.
We went I went out there twice. One year it was just for the fun of it. There was four of us. Then 2 years later I went because Hanley Ramirez was my favorite player. He was on the Marlins at the time before he went to the Dodgers. And the eight of us went. We took two cars out there from Jersey, and there was nobody there. We were first row, first base side. It was like $20 for the ticket. It was cheap, and hot dogs are cheap. Were cheap out there, and
Then
there
it's
was
cheap.
let's just say the hot dog lady and the beer lady was like you part like every she knew that everybody like the group was from New Jersey because there was like nobody else in the stadium. But my one friend has photos. He went all around the stadium and just sat in random seats all around, and
Oh my gosh.
it's pretty cool. Some of the photos he has, like he went all the way up top to the corner, and he went out to the outfield. Like it was pretty cool.
Gosh.
So, but yeah, PNC is one of my favorites. I want to go to Seattle, San
Mhm.
Diego. I want to see and San Francisco. I want to see those stadiums.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing. I love going to like seeing all different ballparks. So I have to see
Yeah.
Atlanta too because they're newer, right? Atlanta.
I don't know, but I know when it gets dark out, they do this thing called like hammer time, and like the lights shut off, you get your flashlight out, and you just go like back and forth with your light. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I have to go to Atlanta. All
Yeah.
right, let's do some rapid fire questions. What's your favorite TV show?
Ted Lasso.
Awesome, awesome. You were the first person to say it all the because I asked the same questions, and you're the first person to say that. It's one of my favorite shows. Season four, they're doing a season four.
I know, and I'm so excited, but it
Yeah.
sucks they're not. It's a girls' team now.
Yes, but I think a lot of similar characters, so we'll see. I think it'll
I
be
get to
good.
see Roy. I hope I get to see Roy.
Yes. Yeah, Roy is my favorite character. Favorite movie,
Pitch Perfect.
favorite food.
Ooh, I have to say chicken and rice.
What is your go-to song to get you pumped up or focused before a big game?
Ooh, let me think. Because I listen to a lot of I don't listen to a lot of music, but like
Does your team have like a set playlist?
we do, but it's only for like home games.
Okay. All
Like
right.
we really listen. Like Shakira plays a lot.
Shakira. Okay.
I don't make the playlist, but they always play Shakira, and I love Shakira.
Okay. Um, what's your favorite school subject?
Ooh, I know not a lot of people like it, but I really like math.
Math. That was mine in high school, and then college it switched. Um, what would you rather? Game-winning home run or like a game-winning diving catch to end the game?
Game-winning diving catch.
Okay. I asked Olivia DeFonte that. She said the home run.
The home run would be nice, but
But
like a diving catch, I mean.
she did debate it for a little bit. To me, I loved fielding too when I played baseball. I would go with the fielding. Um, when your playing career is over, do you want to stay involved with the sport, whether coaching or working with little kids?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay. All right, let's talk future. What are you looking at, junior year, big year?
Hmm.
When you're visiting colleges or talking to college, what are some things that you're looking for in a college? It could be sports related, it
Hmm.
could be size, location. What are you looking for that you could say this is my home?
I'm not really that picky, But I definitely want to go to a school that has my major because I know not every school is going to have the intended major that I want.
Do you know what you want to study?
I want to do exercise science
Okay,
specifically so I could become a physical trainer for
mm,
like a major sport team.
good.
Because like imagine traveling with them, like going everywhere. It'd be amazing.
That's good, and that's such a big. That field keeps growing and growing as more and more, especially like even colleges, big colleges, they're expanding on
Mhm.
those fields as well for for all their sports teams and stuff. So that's pretty big. So you pretty much have mapped out what you want to do when after college. Okay.
Yeah.
So location and that stuff doesn't matter. You just
No, I mean I'd want it a little close to home, but I wouldn't mind if like a college I know UCLA is pretty big, but like UCLA, like I know it's far, but like if they have my intended major, I'll go.
they have a pretty good softball team too out there.
Yeah, pretty good softball team.
That was they were one of the first softball teams I ever watched years ago. They had a pitcher, Amanda Freed.
Ooh.
She made the USA team. She was on the US team. This was probably mid 2000s. So, do you have like a favorite college softball team you like to watch?
Ooh, so like I don't really have a favorite, but I always like watching the underdogs. Like teams that you wouldn't expect to be in that playoff. Like I know one year it was Liberty, one year like James Madison was up there. Like I just love watching the underdogs.
That's good. That's like I enjoy that too, like fighting, boxing underdogs and NCAA tournament. Obviously for
Mhm.
basketball, always go with the underdogs. I had season tickets for the Yankees for a few years. I actually the year they played the Marlins in the World Series, the Marlins were the underdog. I actually bet them, and my friends were so pissed off because they were on they were a young team that year, and they ended up beating the Yankees, and I never heard the end of it from my friends.
Yeah, now that the Dodgers won last year, I don't hear the end of it from anyone.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that. I'm not a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
Who is Dave Roberts still? Roberts is still a coach, right?
Dave Roberts is still the head coach.
He's such a good coach. He's
Hmm.
such a good coach. And so, who's better, Judge or Otani?
Ooh, I'm not gonna. I think Judge,
Judge.
honestly, he's been having the last two seasons have been so much better than Otani. I honestly
They
think.
they keep showing his stats over the last 162 games, and like no baseball player's done that stuff. So
Even
he's
though Shohei has done like
yeah
50-50, I think Judge has done better.
yeah interesting. I was just me and my mom were talking about this. The year Judge got drafted, the
Ooh,
Yankees had three first round picks, and Judge was the one everybody said wasn't going to make it. The other two players aren't in baseball anymore, and
and he's still there.
he's the face of baseball. So,
Yeah.
all right, here's my last question for you. What advice would you give your younger self?
I would tell myself just to have fun, you know? Like, same thing I would tell the younger girls next year. Like, it's got to be a game of failure. And, like, just to have fun with it. Like, it's okay if you strike out. It's okay if you go over one day. Because, like Ted Lasso once said, be a goldfish. Focus on the next one.
That's great, and a lot of players. You're right. Players get in the head if they strike out one time and feel the pressure. You have the goldfish memory. Just forget about it and goes. So, all right. So, who's on the schedule this week for Barnegat?
I know we play Central on Wednesday. Then we have short conference. And
Oh
then
yeah, short conference starts at the end of the week,
it's
right?
Thursday. It's Thursday. And then I forget who we play Friday. Think it's either Homedale or Mid North.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, I think it's one of them.
Homedale you have on the 13th. That's so
Okay.
next the following week you got Homedale and Mid North.
Ooh, same week?
Yeah, those are two
Who do I play? Who do I play Friday? I completely
Jackson
forgot it.
Jackson Liberty.
Oh, oh yeah, because it's our senior. That's our senior day.
Okay.
Forgot that was the ninth.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Homedale, Middletown. I wonder if those get changed with the short conference tournament because
because I know if we passed the first round, we have to play the second round on Saturday.
Second round has to be.
That's what my
Oh,
coach said.
that makes sense. So Thursday's the 8th, which is the first round, and the 10th would be the second round. I'm curious when I don't know. I was asking for the schedule, nobody had it. So okay, makes sense.
Hmm.
All right, well, I will let you go. I appreciate you taking time out, and good luck going into the Shore Conference. And if you meet Brick Memorial again, third time's a charm. Just
I'll
remember
make
that.
sure to give them a run for their money.
Yeah,
We'll make it even harder. This whole team will
Uh,
make it even harder for them.
yeah. I mean, one you girls, Barnegat has a dangerous lineup, and you got the pitching. So you got a team that could make some noise.
If we play them again, we just are really gonna work for it. Like
Yeah.
we've worked for it previously, but we really want another, if we get another chance,
Yeah.
we'll really work for it.
Do I have that up still? Hang on. Let me see if I have to. No, can't do that. I'll end up screwing something up, so I'm not going to touch it. Yeah, I was trying to see the bracket that I had mapped out, but I think I'm missing a team anyway. So all right, well, Riley, thank you for taking time out today, and good luck the rest of the way, and good luck in short conference and states.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Good luck this week with short conference. Right now, there's 25 teams in. So, and we'll have preview out for that, and stat leaders will be coming out tonight too. So, have a good night, everybody. Thank you.